welcome to day 8 of Yoga for True Beginners, day 3 of an introduction to Yin Yoga. So if you've done the last 2 days of Yin Yoga, you may have thought, Brenda, you're killing me. This is not for me. So let's talk a little bit before we start about the purpose of Yin Yoga. Yin is to bring ourselves to an edge, not over it, never over our personal edge, but to our personal edge in a posture, and then hold it in static pose for a few minutes in order to allow release of our connective tissues. Through doing that, we're also allowing a nice fresh flood to the joints of more and fresh hyaluronic acid. So when you first start doing Yin, the reason I invite you to move out of the poses extremely slowly is because you might feel like, wow, I just aged about a decade. This is not restorative yoga. People confuse those two. We'll get to restorative yoga, but right now in Yin, when we first start practicing, we can feel very achy and very old after we've done it. So know that the more you return to it, 2-3 postures twice a day, 10 to 15 minutes, the more you do that, the sooner you're going to start to feel the effect of all that fresh hyaluronic acid in our joints and the effect of connective tissue that may have gotten very hard and crunchy, and it's releasing and it's popping and it's rejuvenating, so that our muscles and our bones and our joints are going to have way more stability for when we do start going into introduction to vinyasa yoga, which is what a lot of you are used to seeing. One posture to another in a consistent flow, very steady flow. But for today, for the postures we're going to do, I would love for you to take a moment, grab all the couch cushions and chair cushions you have. Grab a towel or a blanket to fold to sit on. But in one of our postures, we're really going to give ourselves, I'm not kidding, as much support as we need to go into what our edge is. This is yoga for the true beginner. So I'm going to assume that unless you have hypermobility, you're going to want a lot of props, because remember, while we're holding these static postures, we want our entire body to be able to rest enough in those postures that we get the effect that we're looking for with our connective tissues. So grab a bunch of goodies and meet me back here on the mat. So now that you're back, we're just going to start with a diamond. For most, you're probably going to want a little folded towel or blanket just under your sit bones. I think I might have an Amazon order arriving right now. Yep, sorry for the noise. So diamond is simply bringing your feet together, your knees out. Now, if your knees, even while propping yourself up, are really high off the ground and it's uncomfortable, grab more support for yourself. Otherwise, we're going to grab a nice tall amount of support to have in front of us. So, let's come into diamond. We have our sit bones supported up so that we have better mobility, right, for that forward fold. We're going to bring our support right up on our lap. And from here, we're just going to slowly find our comfortable edge. Now, if your edge is here, grab another pillow or just put your hands, the palms of your hands over your eyes, and rest your head in there. Wherever your edge is, that's where you're going to go. And let's just remember deep belly breaths. And when it feels time for you, start to have your exhales be twice as long as your inhales. You really want to slow the breath down in Yin. Now you do want to know that you've brought yourself far enough towards your edge that you're feeling this expansion in your spine, your hips, the inside of your hips, your hamstrings. Some of you will feel it in all of those places. Some of you will just feel it in one. And each time your fight or flight comes up and you think, I'm bored, or, oh, I have too much to do to be doing this, or I don't know what to do because she's not talking, just bring your brain back to your breath. You can count your breath, how many counts in and out. Let your mind travel through your body, noticing any areas that are supporting you, but really they're just tense. The only thing you need to use for support today are your props. So just pay attention to your mind, whether it's counting your breath or scanning your body and releasing, or just thinking about what your intention is for today. Just let your brain keep coming back to that. Just bring your brain back to your point of focus for one more minute. hands onto your support and press them into your support. Straighten your back, heading forwards over your support. And with a nice straight back, let's slowly come back to our center. Just take a moment, roll your shoulders, slowly turn your head side to side, whatever you're feeling you need. You want to take a moment and let what you just offered to your body have a moment to take hold. Now we're going to get rid of one of these supports. Actually, let's put it at the very top of our mat. We're going to bring the other support, couch cushion, bolster, whatever you have. We're going to bring it right up against our hips, pretty much right against the other one too, most likely. But what you want to be able to do is you're sitting on your left hip, your knees are bent, and you want to just slowly bring yourself down over the central cushion. Let the top cushion be there to support your head. Bring your arms up above your head. If you'd like, you can bring your legs all the way down. If that takes away from some of the arch, you can either add another bolster or you can bring your knees back up. Let's go into our big belly breaths, nice and slow. While you're in your side supine deer pose, let that top shoulder really rest. We're just going for a nice little side stretch. When you can add more bolsters or a taller one, you'll start to feel far more stretch in that top hip and glute. But for right now, I want everyone to just start to feel a gentle, gentle side stretch. Let your mind come back to your point of focus. Just slowly bring your top arm down. Let it rest, your hand rest on your thigh or your hip. Just take some nice, yummy, deep breaths and enjoy the effects of what you've just done. And then slowly bring yourself up onto your hands and your knees. Come down onto your right hip, right up against your bolster. And let's slowly bring ourselves back down for a nice supine side deer. Just bring your mind back to your point of reference. Allow your mind to come to a happy point of reference for one more minute. Slowly bring your top arm down, hand resting on your hip. Just take in the yumminess of that side stretch. Stretching the side, gently stretching the hip. Bring your hands onto your bolsters. Slowly come up. So the reason I said lots of bolsters today is because the final position we're going to do, our saddle, we're going to want, well, I'll show you. So for me, I like to really build myself up. Now, I have a yoga block to sit on. If you don't have a yoga block for this posture, it might be helpful to either have a very large book and put a towel over it for comfort, or a stack of pillows. But I'm gonna have a block that I'll end up sitting on. I'm also going to build up these cushions over here. So I have 2 stacked, right, to give me some height. Then I'm propping this one on here, right? And just to make sure it doesn't fall back on me, I'm putting one more back here. Okay, so I do want a slant, okay? I'm checking, okay, it's supportive. So what I'm going to do now is coming onto my knees, my feet straight behind me or out, whatever feels most comfortable to you, or your feet can come in and your knees can come out. This is really finding your edge and finding whatever parts of the lower body, the hips and the groin, are going to feel the best getting this stretch. So that's why you have your knees out and play around with that. I am sitting down. My block is right between my feet. I'm sitting down on my block. And then I'm slowly, on my hands, lowering myself back. And today, I knew this might happen. I've got a lot of tightness in my body. I've been doing more hiking than yoga. I'm gonna take a rolled up extra mat, put that behind my back. So I'm not kidding, you're really building up to what feels best to you today. Take all you need. Here we go, I've got a block right in the center of my back. Oh my God, it's heaven. This is heaven. This is where you're coming to, not this exact look, because your edge is different from anyone else's edge. But what you want to be feeling is just a gentle tension in your thighs and the front of your hips. Feel free to bring your hands up to support your head a bit in this, so your neck's, in case like me, I added that extra block which had my neck arching back. So once I know this takes some prep, so once you've got all your couch cushions, and this is why I said couch cushions rather than bed pillows today. You need good, strong support for this. And you're just gonna have your nice deep belly breaths and allow your thighs and the front of your hips and your pelvis to have a nice stretch. Your lower belly. You might feel a little compression on your lower back. Just melt into this one today. just return to your focal point. Are you scanning your body and giving permission for areas to relax, to release their stress? Or are you just going very far in and just counting your breath? As much as we want to hold a static pose, any of you who might have been peeking at the screen, because again it gets so quiet here you don't know what to do, you might notice I started with my hands behind my head for support, but I've elongated enough my neck that now the back of my head is supported on the back pillow, because my neck has elongated, but also that's how much my thighs and my hips are relaxing, that it's allowing me to move back. So if you find something like that going on in your body, by all means, allow yourself to take that edge further. Let's take this for about 30 seconds more. I'll track the time, and you just focus on nice deep breaths. You're going to come out of this very slowly, and let me walk you through how to come out. So we're just going to very slowly start inching our feet forward towards the knees. That nice yummy ankle stretch we just got. And 1 foot at a time, let it slide out. Just lay here for a moment. Feel your ankles, your feet. Move them around a bit. And then on a nice deep inhale, press your hands into the ground and bring your back up. That felt heavenly. We're going to remove whatever we sat on for support. We're going to remove all of the props that supported us, unless we want to keep a pillow under our head. But this is now going to be the yummy Savasana time. Let yourself slowly come down onto your back. Arms down by your side or straight out, enjoy. Knees bent or legs straight. If they're straight, let the feet just flop over. And just pay attention to your breath. allow yourself to really become in tune with the yumminess you just allowed your connective tissues to release in a way that day-to-day life just doesn't give them the chance to. And if we're sitting at home a lot or sitting at work a lot, chances are we're really not keeping our joints lubricated, nor are we keeping our fascia and our muscles lubricated. So by doing this, you're allowing that, which is going to give you so much supportive strength in life. So much supportive strength. Allow yourself to rest in Savasana. Think of your intention for today. Daydream about your wildest happy life. Whatever it is you want, you are in charge of your Savasana. My only request is that you allow it for at minimum 5 minutes so that your peripheral nervous system can send beautiful messages to your brain about how coming to your limit is luscious and lubricating. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow.